It was my first time buying egusi and selling egusi for people and for myself, but I've seen my mother do it. And I felt like I could do it because she has done it several times, even though she has, fallen into the wrong hands at some point, but she was still able to navigate thoroughly. And so I decided to venture into it because it was very profitable. It is still very profitable. My name is Maria Habila. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, I'm an agri entrepreneur. I make videos about finance, lifestyle. I'm also a YouTuber and a blogger. I just want to make money in Nigeria. No matter how difficult the economy might seem, I am determined to make money in Nigeria, and that is why I am sharing my story with you guys, because you all are going to be here to testify and say, oh, we knew where she was staying in that her one bedroom in Kano. Now let's get started on how we bought our egusi, we sold it, the lessons learned, and the tough mistakes made, and we're still making. So last year we bought egusi around September, and as soon as we bought our egusi, before we bought it, I went into the market for survey, and I made a video on this channel showing you guys my first time in the market and how it went, and we just met different vendors, and it was just fun. I and my friend went there, and I tried my didi. I like to make things fun for myself, because at the end of the day, all work and no play make Maria a baby rat. So I decided to reach out and just chill while I am working. So I made a few contacts. I got a few contacts, and as soon as I got home and I told my mom, I want to work with this person I met at the market, and she said to me, do you know him? I said no. And she's like, this market, you don't work with people that you do not know, you work with people that you know, so that in case anything happen, you know who to hold responsible and all of that. Number one, you do not live there. Number two, she just gave me a lot of reasons, and that there's somebody she trusts and she knows. And the woman has been in my mother's meeting for quite a while, so we decided to go with her. And so we bought an amount of egusi. I'm not going to be mentioning the bags that we bought, but we bought some egusi. The woman took us round. The first time we went to the market, we bought some, and then we had already posted on the egusi group that we are done buying egusi and all the good stuff. Some people still reached out, we still want to buy, and they sent money, and then they paid for late payment, because I have to travel all the way down there again with some people again to help me and all of that. And this time around, I wasn't even feeling fine, but I still took the trip and I went. I posted that on my Instagram, and if you're not following my Instagram, you're darling, because I share tips on how I navigate life as a girl trying to live and earn money and make wealth and all of that, budget things, very interesting videos. And I also share nice things on my stories as well every day. So go and follow Maria Habila on that. So we bought our egusi and we stored right in a shop, in her sister's shop. And around January, my mom said, it's time to sell egusi. Some people are selling for almost 200,000. And so there are two types of egusi. There's the one I made mention of the very first day I went to the market, the one that you fill up the bag so much. That is the most expensive one. And then the one that you don't fill up the bag so much, that's the least expensive one. So as at the time we're going to the market to buy, those ones that you overfill, they were going for like 100,000, and we had already budgeted 85,000 naira per bag, and so we bought for 85,000 naira for the ones that are like up to standard. Now, this woman advised me that it's better we buy the ones that have already been bagged and sacked, to just sample them and make sure that the products are good, and we take them to the store, just so that whenever it's time for us to sell, they just come and pick them the way we picked them. But if we're buying those ones to fill, it's going to be like buying new bags, getting people to fill them up, you pay for extra services. And one thing about this business is nothing is for free. Somebody moves your bag from here to here, you are paying the person 100 naira. Somebody moves your bag from here to you are paying the person 200 naira. The person who you bought from, you will pay the person 500 naira per bag. The person who you're dropping the things in the person's shop, you have to pay the person I think another 500 naira per bag. So like there's a lot of expenses and people do not understand it, right? So we did all of that and we stored. January, I put a call through to the woman who helped me store. I'm like, okay, mama, it's time for us to sell. She's like, oh, it's not a good time and all of that. I'm like, okay, fine. February, mama, it's time to sell. She's like, oh, it's not a good time and all of that. March, I was like, you know what, I'm going to sell regardless, because we're supposed to sell our corn in January, but we couldn't sell because of all this cash madness. Now we could take transfer, and thank God most of my clients are online. We're just going to transfer their money right to them without them coming to where we are, all of that good stuff. So it was a win-win for me. I don't have to look for cash to send people. You just transfer to me, I transfer to people, and we are good. So let me take you down on the sharing formula. Usually when you make up to 50% profit, I get 10% off of your profit. When you make less than 50%, I get 5% of your profit. So if you make good profit, I get good money. If you don't make good profit, I get bad money. It's as simple as that. And so I called this woman. Oh, I want to go. She's like, oh, she's in the village, she's not feeling fine, we should not sell now. I'm like, I want to sell now. I just want this thing to go, right? Because I am facing a lot of challenges which I'll be relating with you. A lot of you, some of you have reached out to me saying, oh, is this business still open? And I've just been telling you, no, we're not open for now. We're trying to sort out some things. So those things I'm going to make known when we've settled everybody. Please be patient with me. I know some of you have just been saying, oh, Maria, what's happening? I'm going to tell you what's happening. I am going to tell what's happening. It's not a good news, but like, want to see how we can work around it to favor everybody, including myself, because I want to make money. So we sent out. I went to the market and I called her. She's like, oh, she's not in the market. There's no how they can sell to me. I'm like, I put high. I bought this egusi and I stored it here. I want to sell it. The woman saw when I came with you. It's not like I gave you the egusi and I left and you went to store it in her shop. I want to sell it. I want to sell it today. And she's like, oh, how are you able to sell it? I said, concern you. I want to sell it and I want to sell it today. And if you know one thing about me is I don't take no for an answer. If you say no to me, you're wasting your time. I'm going to be back. I'm going to be all up on your face. If you say, don't say no to me, you're just wasting your time. Anyway, I went there and I was in front of the shop and I was like, let the heavens fall, today I'm selling. Prior to that, I made a phone call to my mother's friend who is into egusi, and she's been doing egusi for years, more than 10 years now. And she gave me contact of people who, when I want to sell, they'll just show up and I'll sell. I don't have to go and look for buyers, because the problems we had with corn was we did not get buyers like who wanted to take in bulk. All the buyers we got were those who wanted to buy 2 bags, 3 bags, 5 bags, and that's not what I want. Anyway, we got a buyer, and then we had a negotiation, and he wanted to take all of the bags because some bags had shrunk. Yeah, some of the egusi had shrunk and they're smaller, and some were big, So all the ones that we bought, for us to be fair, they're going to pick all at the same price, and some were not so big and some were not. You know how it is now. Some bags are fuller, some bags the egusi have shrunk and they're smaller. So for us to be able to sell everything at once, we have to navigate and just sell at a flat rate for everybody, so that the ones you are picking for is so expensive, the one that is so full, you can be compensated for the ones that are so small and all of that. So we made a negotiation, and I'm going to tell you how much we sold egusi because I'm a very transparent person. So the woman said, oh, we're going to sell me. I told them I want to sell for 150 because that's what I heard before going to the market, that you can sell a bag of egusi for 150,000. And then they said, no, that's not the price, it's so much and all of that. I just kept arguing back and forth. I was like, oh, I should just sell to them for 140. I was like, 140 is too small. She's like, oh, just sell for them at 140 and all of that. I said, okay. I told them 140. Like, no, Kiniko, I sell for them at 138,000, and that's how we settled for 138,000. And I was sitting outside where you guys saw me with the bags of cashew behind me, and they all went one by one into the shop. Both the shopkeeper and the shop owner and the people who wanted to buy, and there was just chaos. And I'm wondering what's happening. What is happening? And one of them was like, me, I'm going to talk. I'm like, Kilo Shele, what is happening? And then he was like, oh, this woman said we should tell you we are taking per bag for 138,000, but she's going to collect 100, and she's going to we should add 10,000 naira to her. So we're taking 19 bags. Okay, we are taking 19 bags from your shop. We are selling 19 bags to you at 138 per bag, and then when I now go, they will now pay her extra 10,000 per bag. And then the man was like, no, that's not fair. We've already settled with this price. We're going to give you 2,000. And she said, no, 10,000. And that's how greed exposed her. And I was like, are you serious? So you wanted to buy this thing for that amount? In fact, I am not selling. Because I felt like, so I'm here. You people are flying words across my head and you wanted to sell for higher. And according to them, the Egusi was not up to that. So there's no how they're going to sell. And then I called that contact I told you guys I had. When I called him, I was like, Vuga, please show up. And then he came and I'm like, oh, see what's happening. And he called me to the side and he was like, you should have just called me and all that. I was on my way home. Thank God he came to the rescue. And what we did was, I asked her, oh, how much am I paying for the storage? And she's like, I'm going to pay an extra 1,000. That's 2,000 naira per bag. And I charged everybody who stored Egusi with me. All of you can testify. I charged them 2,500 naira for storage of Egusi, because you have to pay a ladder for the bags. You have to pay transportation. And I just accumulated everything to be 1,000 and then storage 1,000. So bad as it bad, we are not making any loss, including my transport, everything inside the storage fee. Now, as soon as I got to that realization, I just said, oh, let's just pack all our Egusi and get out of here. And Dima was like, no, why? I said, I am no longer selling to you or anybody that is around here. I am done. She's like, oh, it's not like that. This man is trying to make me feel bad. I'm like, boy, you told them to pay extra money while I'm here. So that means this Egusi can be more. And she's like, no, can you come? And then Vuga just came to my rescue and packed everything and took it to his shop and got us a buyer for that same rate, but refunded me 15,000 naira. So the 15,000 naira was what we used to pay storage fee, what we used to. Let me tell you guys something. My body was literally shaking because I just felt like, what is this? What is this? And now this is not even the icing on the cake. 4 bags of Egusi were missing from that woman's shop. Apparently, the woman who helped me to buy Egusi went behind my back and took 4 bags of Egusi and went to sell them off without my consent. So when we're packing them out, I now saw 4 bags are missing. How? She's like, oh, that woman said she took it to another woman's shop just so that, oh, because the woman is her friend, so let the woman get something out of storage. I'm like, oh, I can understand, because storage is quite a big deal. Some of them just own shops for storage. So I mean, if I have 2 friends, let me just share. Oh, you take 3 bags, you take 5 bags, and all of that. So I called her. Okay, where is this woman's shop? We cannot locate it. It's not in the shop. I'm like, everybody knows everybody in this market. Just tell us where we'll go and pick up the 4. Men and brethren, this woman has sold my 4 bags of Egusi. Those ones are my personal Egusi. She sold 4 bags of Egusi of my own, and my money is not here. And so I had to pay every other person, back their Egusi. And I lost money. Yes, I lost money. I just called her, oh, she's not feeling fine. I'm like, you stole my Egusi. And she's like, oh, yes, and she's my mother's friend. And I just came back and I just kept passing my mother. My mother felt bad. My mother was like, what do you want me to do? Up till now, she has not refunded my money. Apparently, she sold the Egusi and used the money for an investment that did not yield. And now my 4 bags of Egusi are gone. I don't have money, and we are trying to see how she can pay us back our money, pay me back my money. Now, here's the big deal. If I had told all those people, maybe that woman, let's say she has packed all the Egusi and she sold, and I go to sell, and I realize that, oh, those Egusi are missing. Who among you would believe and accept that, oh, your bags of Egusi are missing, and you're going to be patient with me until we're able to follow her until she refunds that money? How many of you would accept that? That's the problem. None of you. Because I mistakenly even sent extra money to people. Like, I calculated plus my profit and I sent to them. And then I realized, oh, like the money I was supposed to dispatch to everybody, my account balance had already gone lower than it's supposed to have been. So I'm like wondering what's happening. And then I now checked, oh, I've oversent money to people. And then I kept calling them, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I sent you including my profit. Some people sent me the money right back. One woman gave me hell. I am a chartered accountant. I paid extra money for the woman who paid late. Told me, oh, she has paid extra money for she had paid extra money for transportation, and so I'm supposed to include it in her bill. She's not going to pay me back, And I'm like, madam, I had to use emotional blackmail. See, you've never seen me. I did this business for you and I sent you back your money in one piece, and I mistakenly sent my profit. Is it now me and you are going to be battling on the profit? Because every other person had already agreed, okay, this is your profit, and why am I being, I think per bag I made 5,700 naira as a profit over a bag, 10% of it, because they made, I think, 30. I don't want to think about it so much, because right now my money is missing. Okay, if you calculate 138,000 naira times 4, that's a lot of money. My phone is bad. I need to buy a new phone. I have other needs. I'm saving towards other things. I invested that money just so that I can have money to add and continue my supply job. And here I am stuck, waiting for the woman to pay me back my money. We don't even know if she's going to ever pay me back my money, So the truth is, it's very difficult to explain to people. And sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know measures. At the end of the day, if you take any monetary thing to the court, you will go round in circle. And they'll just tell you they're going to pay you instrumentally, kiniko, and that's all you will get. My mother has been through the circle. She has dropped something in somebody's house before, the same egusi, and they sold all her egusi. And they went back and forth to the court, and the money, some came back, some never came back. Same thing happened to one other woman, the woman who gave me the contact that I mentioned. It happens. And that's why I want to work with people that I know. Like my mother has a store in Nasarawa, that's Beans Market, so that I just go there, pick what I want to pick. It is our shop. Nothing happens to anything there. My mother is in charge of it. It has been a struggle, honestly. So I just decided to just do a proper sit down and tell you guys exactly what happened and what is happening right now, and why I'm even skeptical, because if anything goes out, nobody will hear, Maria, oh, it's not your fault. It's people's money. I don't think I'm in that emotional state to be going through the worry of paying back people's money. I don't even have so much money. I don't even have money. I'm just trying to make money. So I don't think I'm in the position to be able to pay back everybody the money in case anything happens. So until I am there emotionally, and you cannot trust people. Those people who will come and you and beg you, oh ma, please, when anything turn. I know what that woman said to me. I'm a chartered accountant. I know what, and I'm like, hey, upon my profit. So that's the dilemma of my people. For some of you who watched it to this point, the business is still open, but we are just trying to figure a way around it. You make mistakes and you dust yourself up and you grow, and that's how it happens. This is going to be the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.